think Friday. Friday's when I started calling them, and then I got some like vacant tax lien properties as well. I've been trying to market to.
Yeah,
Look, yeah, couple like yeses, but like nobody that's like yeah for sure, for sure. Like I'm trying to get this done like soon.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
more
yeah,
like yeah, I'm kind of thinking about it, but nothing like
yeah. I
for
hear
sure,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, I hear that. You got some contracts, so when somebody does say yes, you can send it to them or what?
Yeah, I'm in another community, a Discord actually, pretty much just like this. I don't know if you ever heard of him. His name's Ty the investor. He based out of Atlanta, but he's got like a whole like drive just with basically everything you need, scripts, contracts, um, spreadsheets for like KPI. He got basically everything in that month. So pretty much I should have it all. I should have
Yeah,
it all.
yeah. Do you have like DocuSign or anything like that?
I got DocuSign, yeah. I haven't used it yet, but when
Yeah,
that time come, I plan on using it, yeah.
yeah. Upload one of them contracts from Ty, I think you said. Upload one of them contracts in the DocuSign and go through and like just make a template. So when somebody is
Alright.
ready to sell, you can just fix a few things like the address and the price and go ahead and send it to them just so you're not all rushing at once.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't think about that. Alright, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I did. I got DocuSign and I put in all my contracts, my assignment contract, everything, and I just made a template out of it. And I just had
Okay.
I put all the because there's a lot of stuff in those contracts. I don't know how long yours is, but there's a bunch of dates, times, da da da. So I just went through and go ahead and like put a box for it, so I can just add to it when it happens. So it speeds up the process so much. Because if I had to do it from scratch every time, it was like damn near 30 to an hour just to get it going.
Okay, yeah. Bet. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Probably as soon as I'm done, they give me something to do.
Yeah, sure. So I don't know who's gonna show up. This is, some days is 20 people, some days is zero people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of those things. But I just wanted to get on here. I'm only good till 12. So I just wanted to get on here and do some cold call role play. I know me and my boy Devin usually do it at tens on Sundays. So I just wanted to open it up and see if anybody else wanted to come in. So
Yeah.
you started on the phone. You want to do some role play?
Yeah, I definitely want to do some role play. I haven't really had a chance to do it with nobody besides myself and my homies who ain't really into it.
Oh,
They just
okay.
being homies.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look, man, I'm gonna let you be the buyer and I'll be the seller, so you can just work on your script and what you got going.
All right, bet.
All right. So go ahead whenever you're ready. Just hit me with the ring, and I'll say hello, and we'll just get it started.
All right. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Johnny?
Yes, this is him.
Hey Johnny, this is Amir, and I'm calling about the property on Apple Street. I just had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know if you would consider selling either now or maybe in the short future.
I've really thought about it. Me and my wife talked about it a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, if you come with a decent offer, I would love to entertain it.
Yeah. Okay. Am I catching you at a good time?
Yeah, I got some time right now.
Okay. Perfect. Now, I know you said you and your wife kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, obviously, I know money talk. What would be the reason you were thinking about selling?
I have a lot of rentals. This property is just another rental for me, and I have no problem letting it go. It's vacant right now. The renters just moved out, and it needs a little bit of work. So I'm just kind of debating if I'm going to do it myself and re-rent it, or just let it go.
Okay, so you're a landlord. How long you been a landlord?
Man, I've been at it like 10 years. So
Oh,
I have 13 properties.
okay. So you're a vet. You seasoned. I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you said this one's gonna need a little bit of work. What kind of work we talking about?
Just cosmetic. It's been updated. I updated about 5 years ago, but I'm assuming it needs some carpet, some paint, just the typical between renters stuff you got to do.
Okay.
There might be a small hole in the wall. I don't know. I haven't been in there since they left, so I haven't been able to really scope out the property. But usually in between tenants, I like to put new carpet, new paint. Like I said, it was updated 5 years ago, so it really doesn't need anything as far as the roof or the HVAC or anything.
Okay, got you. So how much? I know you're not a contractor. How much would you be thinking as far as like money
Uh,
wise? It's probably gonna cost to put into it if we were to buy it from you.
Probably like 30, 40 grand maybe. If I just,
Okay.
went through and made it rent ready again and really
Uh,
got it right. Hey, time out real quick. The ARV of this property is $350,000.
okay.
All right, just to kind of go where we're at.
All right. Cool. Cool. 30, 40 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we did and I'm moving forward on it, I mean, is this something you think about doing in 30 days or sooner, or what kind of time frame did you have
So
on
I mean, if we can agree to a price, I'm ready to go whenever. I'll sign today.
it? Hey, it sounds good to me, man. Okay, sounds good. We said 350.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so just running some quick numbers real quick. Obviously we need to get in there and do a walkthrough and just confirm everything ourselves in order to get an accurate rehab number. Let's see.
While you're running your numbers, so it's not quiet, ask me other questions. Get me talking, just so we're not sitting on the phone in silence. So ask me
Right.
something. Keep the conversation going, even though you're running your numbers on your end.
Okay. Um, where y'all living right now? I know you say y'all not in that property. I got 11, 13 properties. Where y'all living right now?
We bounce around. Me and my wife kind of do 1 year leases, so we're actually in Hawaii right now.
Hawaii. Never been to Hawaii, but I was told that everything on that island is beautiful. I was
Yeah,
also told that there's literally not a poisonous bug or insect on the entire island, which is a super cool thing, man.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe one day I can visit. If I was you, honestly speaking, I would probably try to stay out there. Honestly speaking.
Yeah, I really like it in Hawaii, man. It's one of those areas where we nomaded to, and it's just been beautiful. It's treated us very well. We've been here about 6 months. We got 6 more months here before we move on. But it's right on the water, so I'm near the water. It's just a very relaxing area to be in. And like I
I'm
said, I got
sure.
13 properties. I have property managers for all that, so it kind of frees me up. I have other businesses as well, so I'm kind of hands
Mm,
off pretty much everything.
okay. So it doesn't sound like you're really hurting for anything at the moment. Sounds like your life is real, real good.
Yeah.
Me and my team, just honestly speaking, essentially how we work is we try to come in and buy properties cash. So of course that would mean as investors we would probably need to get a little bit of a discount, try to make a little bit of money on it. And this is just running some quick numbers, like I said, without us actually coming to the property, looking at it, having any actual pictures, getting an actual rehab estimate. We would probably want to be in the ballpark about like 250, 263. Is that something you think you would consider?
250 to 263. Um, I
With
mean,
us paying cash.
yeah, how quickly can y'all close? If we agree to a number, do I gotta sit and wait? Like, what kind of the terms? Kind of walk me through that process.
No, so essentially the process will be once we come to an agreement verbally. I will get your email. I'll send you over the agreement to your email. We can get on the phone. We can go over everything together. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But normally it takes like 5 minutes. Basically, once we get the agreement back from you, we will send it to title. Me and you, we would schedule a walkthrough date just to kind of confirm the condition of the property. And then assuming everything checks out good, it's everything we're expecting. From there we get a closing date and we close. So I mean, if you're looking at 30 days or sooner, that's pretty much how it would go. It should work out.
250 to 263. I really want, like, when me and my wife had the initial conversation, we were looking at 280 being the price. So that's
280.
kind of where I'm at. Um, I mean, is there any way you can meet me there?
Possibly. Another thing I can get. I could talk to my partners about, talk to my team about, that we could probably do for you is pay all the closing costs. So transfer fees, title, all that. Because normally the seller ends up having to pay that, so that'll come out of your profits a little bit. So, I mean, with that being said, you think you would be able to work with us if we pay all the closing costs, take it as is, you don't have to do nothing to it, and we can close on your time frame?
Um, um, Look, man, can we do 270 and just call it even? I know that's higher than you want. Um, I'm coming down 10 grand from where my ideal price is. That 270 number is kind of perfect for me. So if we can make that 270 work, then I'm willing to sign right now. I'm the only one on the deed as well, so I don't have to discuss it with my wife or anything. I'm the decision maker.
Okay. I appreciate you being able to work with us. We can go ahead and do that. I'll send you over the agreement right now. Let me get your email from you real quick. I'll send you that over there right now. Like I said, we could talk about everything, and then from there we could try to schedule a walkthrough just to get confirmation of what the property looks like, and we should be able to close after that. That works for you.
Yeah, my email is 123 ABC.
Hmm. Cool. All right, man. So you should be expecting that right now. Once you get that, I guess if you have any questions, just give me a call back. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. It's really, really simple. They make it for people like me that's not super, super sophisticated. So you shouldn't have any questions, but if you do, just feel free to give me a call back.
All right, that sounds good.
All right. You have a good one, Johnny.
You as well. Bro, how long you been on the phones?
uh, I'll probably say since February, maybe.
Yeah, you're smooth, bro. Very smooth. Very smooth
Yeah,
on the phone.
appreciate it.
You
Appreciate it.
build good rapport. You sound pretty confident. So you have you have a good tone. So I like it, bro. You did a real good job. There's a few things that I took some notes on that I just wanted to address with you. Um,
Yeah.
Earlier in the conversation, you said, "I know we're an investor, so we obviously want to get it for a low price and make some money off of it." Try to cut that out, right? So
Okay.
don't, because that's gonna kind of turn me off. Like, oh, this person's trying to make some money off me. So I mean, I know
Right.
you're an investor. You know you're an investor. So you don't have to like put that out there that you're trying to make money because we both know that. So that might
Okay.
turn somebody off if you say it in that way.
Right. 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 Right.
Um, yeah, and then there was another thing that I heard that I didn't write down because it was towards the end. Um, oh, so the way that I do it, because you're cold calling people before you know ARV, before you know anything about the property. So I
Mm-hmm.
call and I basically say, like, if we get to the point where they're ready to go, I'm like, okay, well, the way my business works is me and my partners run the numbers, we take a look at it, and if we're near the price that you're asking for, I'll give you a call back in the next 30 minutes. So that in
Yeah.
that
I
30
have heard
minute
you say
window,
that.
now I have time to comp it out, find the ARV, estimate the repairs based off of what they said, and give them a call back. So
Right. Right.
it's
Right.
never just one call where we go from, uh,
How
you
you
know,
doing? To
yeah, how you doing to an offer. Um,
right.
Now I was a real easy seller. In the next one, I'm gonna be a hard seller just to kind of test you a little bit. But
Yeah.
like I said, you're building rapport skills. I'm talking about this while I'm doing something else. That's really good. I'm gonna take better notes on this next one because I didn't start taking notes till like halfway through. So a lot of things that I was thinking, I don't remember.
All
But
good.
it was a good first call, bro. It was a
I
really good
pre-
first call.
I appreciate that. I was actually trying to just do it because I have a script that I didn't wrote up. I was just trying to do it like no script
Yeah,
on the fly with it.
yeah,
So I'm gonna try to do this next one with my script.
yeah.
With my script, yeah.
Do you know the four pillars, like what you're trying to get out of each seller on every phone call.
Yeah. So motivation. Well, for me, I got it. Motivation, timeline, condition, and then price. That's
Yeah,
how I try
man.
to do it.
That's the four. That's the four right there. If you get those four, then you're gonna have a good, successful conversation. Right. So in
Um,
that last call, timeline, I told you I'll sign today. Condition, I even told you a price, like 30 to 40 grand that I was.
yeah.
So I told
Yeah.
you completely about the condition. Motivation, I have 13 properties. I don't really want this. You got that out of me. And then price, I told you exactly what price I want.
Yeah.
So you got all of those four things out of me in a real easy flow conversation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Which a
that
lot
was,
of times I know it don't go that way.
yeah,
Sellers
yeah,
sellers be stiff. They be super stiff. You tell me. You the
yeah,
one calling me. You tell me.
yeah, exactly. That's why I said like I was an easy seller then, but I'm gonna be a hard seller on this next one just to try to test you and bend you a little bit, see how you can handle that pressure. Cause I
All
remember
right.
one time I got a I got a seller on the phone. They're like just grilling me with, well, how much will you give me? How much will you give me? And I was just like $1, and I pissed him off, and he hung up. Like,
Yeah. I seen that. I seen that. You was like, don't do that. Don't
yeah,
do that.
don't do that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was new to it too, so I mean that was the first time where I was really getting grilled like that. So I was $1, and I saw somebody else do it, and I was cracking up. Zach Ginn,
Yeah, I know Zach.
the Flip with Zach or Flip with Rick. He said
Yeah.
when he goes on appointments and he's trying to get prices out of people, he'll just say, "Well, I know you're not going to take $1, so what would you take?" So I
Right,
kind
right,
of
right.
implemented that, but I did it way wrong.
No, I got you.
But yeah, bro, I'm gonna take some notes on this one for real. The first one, we'll just say that was a warm up, bro. This the real thing right here.
All right, let's go. Hit me with it. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, this Johnny?
Yeah.
Hey Johnny, this is Zamarian. I'm calling in regards to the property on Apple Street. I just had a question.
Go ahead.
I just want to know if you had any interest in selling it now or maybe here in the short future.
I mean, for the right price, anything's for sale.
Hey man, money talk. I totally understand. What can you tell me about it as it sits right now?
I mean, it's a good house in good condition.
Good house, good condition. Have you done any updates to it recently? Like say probably the last 5 years?
I mean, no, I haven't. I bought it 4 years ago, so I
Hmm.
haven't owned it long. I haven't really had to do anything to it.
Okay. When you moved in, was it like a brand new rehab, like they just flipped it, or was it kind of just like a renter's condition?
I mean, it really didn't need anything. It wasn't, one of the newly updated, but it didn't need anything at all. It was a real clean, good looking house.
Okay. How many bedrooms and bathrooms is it?
Oh, I mean, you're calling me, so I'm assuming that you have my data in front of you. So you should know.
Now, I will be saying the same thing if I was getting this call, but essentially how my business works is we get a list of phone numbers. It's all public information, and we just so happen to be looking to purchase in your area right now. So I'm not sure exactly all the details of that property. I just know it's in the area. So I want to be able to give you a fair offer. So I just need to get a little bit of details about it. Is it how many? Can you tell me how many bedrooms, bathrooms it is?
Yeah, it's a 3-2, man.
3, 2. Okay. What's the square footage on it? Do you know?
Like 1,400 or so.
Gotcha. Okay, so you said it doesn't really need any updates. What kind of flooring do you have throughout the house?
Look, man. I mean, do you have a price, or is answering all your questions just going to lead to another lowball offer? I get calls on this property all the time, so I'm not really just trying to answer a bunch of questions for you to give me a lowball price and me hang up on you. So, give me a price, and let's go from there. Like I said, the house is in good condition. I bought it 4 years ago. You give me a price. You want to buy houses in this area. Let's see what you got.
Okay, I understand that. I definitely understand the frustration, especially with people calling you asking the same questions all the time. The thing is, man, I don't want to give you a lowball offer. I want to give you a fair offer. So I always tell sellers that I'm dealing with, it's kind of like when you buy a new car, you're not going to just buy the car not knowing nothing about it. Otherwise, you kind of would have no choice but to try to offer the lowest price. So I kind of need to know these things in order to be able to give you our best offer. I just had a few more questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it carpet, hardwood, laminate? What you got?
There's carpet in the bathrooms, hardwood on the kitchens and the dining room, on the kitchen and dining room, and
Okay,
living room. The
and
living room has hardwood. Just every like the bedrooms have carpet, and everywhere else is hardwood.
okay, that answers my question there. Is the AC and heating, is it window units or is it like
Wonderful.
centralized?
No window units. Again, I bought it 4 years ago. Everything it works fine.
Okay, okay, got you. And you've only lived there 4 years, so I'm sure you probably would know the age of the roof. You have any idea about the water heater, age of the water heater?
No idea, man. Like I
Okay,
said,
and
everything works.
gotcha. And so that would probably mean no issues with plumbing or electrical either, right?
Well, there's no issues with the property at all. None. It's great.
Gotcha. Okay, so how much would you be thinking about getting for it? I mean, what would be a number you're happy with?
ARV's 350 again. Uh, Look, man, I'm looking at like $430,000.
430,000. Okay, so I, I guess my next question to you is, if we're willing to buy it as is, we take over, you don't have to do anything to it. I mean, could you see yourself going any lower than that for us?
I mean, give me a price, man.
No, okay. No, I mean, the reason I ask is, if there's any way you can work with us, because when we buy properties, we also tend to take care of all like the closing costs and fees. So basically, we try to help you help us, right? So that would mean no realtor commissions. We cover all excise tax, transfer tax, title insurance. Like we cover all costs and fees. So um, I just want to know what would be a number that you're happy with walking away with. That way, I can take it back to my team and say, hey, this is what he wants. And if it's something that we feel like we're in the ballpark, we can work with you on. I'll come back to you with that offer. And then if not, I won't even give you a call back.
I mean, I really don't want to go below 400,000. I have my eyes set on a house in another state, so 400,000 would allow me to get that house and move forward.
400,000. Okay. And thank you for, letting me know that. Like I said, I really am trying to help you. Another nice thing that with us is there's no days on market. So typically, if you list it with like a agent, obviously, besides closing costs, realtor commission you have to pay. Typically when you list it, people that go through the property, they're probably going to ask you to fix that, fix this, even though in your opinion, you don't feel like it needs to be fixed.
At
Also,
all,
you got to
it's
like
great.
yeah, exactly. And you got to pass inspections. So another thing is, when you list it with the realtor is it could take 45, 60, could be 90 days for closing. So like I said, the nice thing with us is, if we can agree on that price, that works for us, that works for you. You don't have to worry about days on market. We have the cash, we're ready to go, and we're ready to close on the property. We just try to make sure the time frame works for you, works for us. With that being said, I mean, did you have an idea of when you want to be done and close the escrow on the property?
We can close in 30 days.
30 days sounds good. Okay, so if we can make the 400,000 work, no less, or we buy it as is, we pay all the closing fees, you'll be okay walking away with 400. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. So I think that should be all the information I need from you for now. So I'm gonna take this information back to my team. We'll take a look at it. I'll give you a call back with a price. Give me about 30 minutes and I'll call you back. Is that okay?
That sounds good.
All right, perfect. And before I let you go, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Is there anybody else that would be involved in making this decision?
Nope, I'm the only one on the deed, man.
All right, perfect. So if I can call you back at X time, I can present you with the offer that works for you, works for us. You'll be ready to move forward and sell us your property, correct?
If you bring me a number that makes sense, I'll give you my autograph today.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for your time. Again, my name is Zamarian. You can call me Z if you like to. I look forward to our phone call in about 30 minutes.
All right, Z, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, man. Bye. Hold up. Ring ring.
Hello?
Hey, this is Johnny.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Johnny, this is Zamir, and I spoke to you about 30 minutes ago about that property on Apple Street.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what you got for me, man?
Perfect. So I was able to talk this over with my team. We did a little bit of research on the property. To be quite honest with you, man, we didn't find any like comps in that area of about 400K, which just basically means that that's probably going to be a little bit too high for us. We might not be your buyer in that case. Is there any chance that you will be able to? Would you consider 290 if we were to pay cash, take
290.
care of all the closing? Yeah, 290.
290.
Would you consider it? Because I mean that's the ballpark we would need to be in order to make this thing work. And like I said, we can close within the 30 days that you want to close in.
290 is way too low, man. It's kind of offensive that you even would say that to me. 290 is just, it doesn't make any sense for me to go that low. I was at 400,000, and 290 just really doesn't make any sense.
So let me tell you this. Like I said, we didn't see any other homes in that area being sold for 400K. Um, all the completely updated, I mean, they're basically flips. They're hovering around 350. So in order for us to try to get that 350, we would need to do exactly what they did to those properties. Now I understand you said it's not in like terrible condition, anything like that, but obviously in order to get it to that point, you're gonna have to put money into it. So that's the reason that we're around that 290. That's the reason, just to try to make it make sense for you. I mean, is that something you would consider knowing that?
No, I wouldn't. I would rather just sit on the house and rot. But Z, I really appreciate your time. Give me a call in about a year, and maybe by then I would have lost my mind and been able to, take 290.
Well, before you go, let me pitch this to you. We mostly try to do cash offers, but if we're willing to come up to that 400, I mean, would you consider giving us terms?
What are terms?
So basically, you will become the bank. Oh man, I don't. I'm still learning about that. I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna stop it there. I'm still learning about that.
That was a
I'm
good
not gonna be.
that was a good transition though from cash
Keep
to money.
going.
Tell me
Ah,
Keep going.
that was a good transition from the cash to terms. So
right,
you
right,
know
right,
something about terms. You know that, okay, you become the bank, right? So
right.
when you get a mortgage with a bank, what do you need? A down payment,
A down
a
payment,
monthly payment, and an interest rate. I
interest.
never say
Right, right,
interest rate unless they bring it up, because I
right,
would rather get it for 0% interest, right? So I
right, right,
used to
right.
say like, hey, terms are basically where you become the bank, right? So I can't walk into the bank and demand, the down payment and the monthly payment that I want to see. So you tell me kind of what would work if we were able to work out terms. You tell me what kind of down payment you want to see. You tell me what you want to see monthly from the property, and we can go from there and try to make it work.
Right, right, right. So I guess what I had in the back of my head was I don't think I ever found out if you owned this property free and clear or if you had any type of mortgage. So that's where my hesitation came from. So I guess with that, like what I'm saying is I don't know if I should be pitching a seller financing thing or a sub two.
Yeah, because you don't know. You don't know if there's a mortgage on it or not.
Yeah,
But you know from the conversation that I want the money to buy another house, right? So I wrote down in my notes, ask about the mortgage, because you never asked. Um,
right, right, right.
so you may not know, and sub two may not work because I was a real hard buyer. I mean, a real hard seller.
Hmm.
So I want that money now so I can go buy a new house. So you could explain substitute to me, but that may not be the case. So I
Right.
own it free just for shits and giggles. I own it free and clear. So go back to your seller finance. Start that whole pitch over again.
All right, cool. Hey, before you go, real quick, let me ask you this. If we could come up to that 400K for you, would you be willing to give us terms?
What are terms?
So it's basically where you will become the bank. So essentially, instead of me going to Wells Fargo, going to Chase, and trying to qualify for it, um, basically you would receive payments from me to take over your house. Is that something you think you'd be interested in?
So I would be the bank in the situation. Like what would that look like? Like I've never heard of this terms or anything. What is it?
So it's the same process as if I was trying to go buy a house myself. You have to go through the whole situation, get approved for a loan, and then once you get approved for a loan, you make payments. Instead of me going to another bank, you already have the house, you become the bank. So what all goes into trying to get a loan for a house? You have to come up with the down payment, and then they determine how long do you want to make these payments for. So with you being the bank, that would mean you would come up with those things and you let me know.
I mean, like I said, I wanna buy another house that I already have it figured out. So I'd obviously want to see a large down payment, and then we can work out monthly term. How do you find out or figure out? Like, say I want to give you a 20-year mortgage. How do we find out what monthly payment equals that in 20 years? How do we do that?
So you tell me how much you want every single month. And then I'm not the one that will come up with those numbers. We will take it to a transaction coordinator and they structure it all for us. So you tell me how much you would want for the down payment, how much you want monthly, and basically how long you want to try to do it for. We take it to them, they structure it for us, and then we have our loan from you to me.
I mean, I really have to sit down with one of my lawyers and talk about this because I don't really know too much about it. I mean, obviously, I'd want to see the highest amount a month that I can get, but I'd really have to sit down with my lawyer and kind of figure this whole thing out, even if it even makes sense for me.
Okay. And you say you're trying to buy another house. Do you know how much you're gonna need for that down payment?
I mean, I'm a veteran, so I'd get it on a VA loan, like I got this one. So I mean,
Okay,
I wouldn't need much down.
gotcha. Okay, well, I would say, in that situation, I know even if it's not much, it'd probably be a good idea to try to find out, and maybe that could be my down payment to you to cover that, so you don't have to come out of pocket. And then moving forward, I will make payments to you. That way, you're actually getting passive income every single month towards this house. I know you say you need to sit down with your lawyer. When were you planning on trying to do that?
I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of like what you said though. If you kind of gave me a down payment that would cover that new house, and then maybe your payment to me each month was enough to satisfy that new house as well. Um, that'd be
Exactly.
something that I'd be interested in. Uh, you know, I really like what you have to say. You kind of got me to come down a little bit. I really don't like having these conversations with people, but that kind of makes sense for the situation I'm in. Let me reach out to my lawyer. It's the weekend, so I'm assuming I'll get a hold of him sometime early next week and be able to get in through next week. Let's do this, man. Give me a call back a week from now, and let's see where we're at.
Let,
I'll
let
give
me
us
let
a
me ask you
call.
this. Let me ask
Go
you this before I let you go. Obviously, you want to talk to your lawyer. What kind of questions do you have for your lawyer? If I can answer it now, that way you don't have to, I mean, you can still discuss it with your lawyer just to make sure. But if I can answer it now, I would be more than happy to do it now than wait a whole nother weekend. Something comes up and you just completely change your mind. What kind of questions do you have right now that I could possibly answer for you?
I mean, what happens if you just stop paying me? What happens if you're like, "Ah, I don't want this house? What happens if you rent it out and the renter totally destroys the property, and then you're like, yeah, I don't want to pay for this anymore and just walk away? Then what? I mean, I'm in a bad situation then.
And that's a good question to be asking. We get that same question all the time. It just wouldn't make sense for me considering that one, I gave you my down payment, so I'm losing money there. Two, like I said, we want to try to put money into it to get it up to what those other houses are looking like. So basically, if we're doing that and we just jet off, we lose money there. And I know you said, what if the tenant happens to destroy it? In the case where they don't happen to destroy it, you get a house that's completely renovated and you can rent it out, do whatever you want with it. So I mean, it just wouldn't make sense for me on my end to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that, does- that yeah, that makes sense. I guess another question I would have is, um, I mean, I'm trying to find a question, but I feel like you've addressed pretty much everything.
You're
I
right.
just want to run like the legalities by my lawyer. Like I don't even know if this is feasible. Like I said, I've never been a part of a transaction like this, so I'd have to reach out to my lawyer and kind of see
If it's like
what,
legal.
yeah, what if it's legal, what if it is legal, how does it work? I want to know basically just from a lawyer standpoint, not just a guy that who just called me over the phone.
Yeah, no, I totally understand it. Feel free to definitely do that. Get back to me if you can with sooner than a week. That would be great. But I will say this before I let you go. I do this all the time. It's 100% legal, of course. You don't know me from a hole in the wall, but I have other properties where we have acquired them the exact same way. So, your lawyer, I would expect for him to be someone who's got a brain on their shoulders. Considering that he speaks to you, you seem like someone that's very very reasonable. So he should be able to explain that to you and let you know that it is something that's perfectly legal where you shouldn't have any issues there. So yeah, definitely do that. Is there any chance you could do it kind of a little bit sooner than a week? And the only reason I asked is because we're also looking to purchase more properties as well.
I mean, I think the week time frame is what's gonna work.
Okay.
This lawyer's a busy guy, and I definitely want to talk to my lawyer before I do anything. So give me a call in a week, and we'll see what we can make happen.
Okay. Are you more of a morning person or evening person? What's a good time?
In the morning, man, like 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. All right, perfect. So I'll call you 10 a.m. Today is Sunday. I will call you next Sunday at 10 o'clock.
All right, that sounds good. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have a great day. Talk to you soon.
All right, Z man.
It's a good bounce back. That's a good bounce back.
I
Z
appreciate it,
man.
man.
That's good, bro. That is very good. I took a bunch of notes this time. But that was a very good call. Now you said you only been on the phone since February. You have a natural flow and a great tone to your conversation. So when you get on the phone, you kind of like I was fighting back early, but you kind of put me at ease. By the end of the phone call, I was, I couldn't even say
Chill
anything,
out.
because you had control of that conversation. And you also asked a lot of questions and you always finished with a question. So there was never a point where, the conversation got turned around. You were always in control of the conversation, which was beautiful. Beautiful.
Cool, cool, cool.
LT, I'm gonna let you say a few things before I, go through my
I
list.
don't. Nah, man, do your thing. I jumped on late, so I really don't have much to add. I just had one question, but yeah, I could go ahead and do your
No,
thing.
Hey,
go ahead.
anything, LT, anything, whatever it is, anything. I need to hear
My
it,
yeah,
man.
the only question I had was about because Johnny brought up a good point, and I've never heard that question before about like if they rent it out, like if you purchased a property or acquired a property, rent it out, it's tenants in there, they damage it, and then what since he's trying to purchase another property and the idea is using the money from the down payment to put it towards a new house and then make taking those payments and applying it towards a new mortgage. Granted, it might not work exactly that way, but since that's the idea that we're kind of putting out there, like how would we make it feel more comfortable for the seller in that situation, where if there's damage to the property, like we know that we're taking most of the responsibility in acquiring the property, but if there's damage to the property and then we walk away, how do we make them feel a little bit more comfortable with that situation?
That's
I was
that's
kind of thinking the same thing.
That's a
Yeah.
good, that's a good question, LT. I like to take it from the standpoint because I've heard that question before, probably 2 or 3 times. I've heard that same exact question. I take it from the standpoint of, look, we're buying properties all the time, so we're not one of those who are just going to throw our hands up when we have a bad renter. We've actually had a similar situation just like this, where the renter completely destroyed the property, but instead of defaulting on you, we just took the loss. All we have is our word, and our business is our word. So if something like that were to happen, it would just be a loss for our business, not a loss for you. You will always be taken care of because essentially you're the one who's taking the risk and the seller financing us this house. So we would do everything in our power to make sure that there will never be a situation that arises where you do not get your money first. So I try to reassure them in that way.
Yeah, I don't even think I answered that question. I think that was probably one part of the questions you were or concerns that you had that I don't think I answered.
You you you
Well, I
you
think
kind of
you kind of sidestepped it a little bit.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
pretty
you
much.
kind of
But it was good though. It was good the way you did it. I like the way you did
yeah.
it because you were just like, let's just say they didn't damage the property. I was like, okay, I like that. I like that.
And
That
you
was
were
fun.
saying like you were saying that you're gonna dump money into the property to bring it up to that ARV standard. So you
So
have all
we're
this money involved.
right.
You're
So it
not
wouldn't
just
make
gonna walk
sense
away from all the money that you deposited into the property. So
for
you
sure.
kind
Yeah,
of did
yeah.
answer it, but you answered it in
Yeah,
another way, which
yeah.
I thought honestly I thought it was a good answer.
It is. No, it was for sure. It was. I'm
Yeah,
just saying. My question was just like, if the guy, like, if the person on the other end is just like, man, I'm still kind of hesitant about it a little bit since I'm taking all the risk, and
Yeah.
since I got a lot at stake because now I got payments coming in on this side, and then I'm trying to make payments on this side. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I mean, I liked it from what I heard. Like I said, I jumped on late, man. I liked it though. It was fire.
Cool, cool. Appreciate it, man.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
it
Yeah.
was a great call, bro. Great call. I'm
Thanks.
gonna go down my list.
Mhm.
You reassured everything that I said. I would say like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, and you would say, I completely understand. Fabulous. That is great. You made me feel like I was being heard by how you led into each answer. Like, oh, you reassured me that you heard exactly what I said and that you understood what I was saying. So that was good. Um, mm, the car analogy that you brought up when you compared it to a car,
Right.
wonderful, wonderful. Because for people who aren't in real estate, they might need a car analogy. They might need something below that huge investment that they've made to kind of compare it to. So I thought that was great.
I got that from
Also,
Zach.
too, when I told you a super high price, you sighed, right? So if Devin was in here, Devin would have loved that because Devin loves like expressions like that through the phone to let you know, like, hey, the price you said is not going to work for me. So I'm gonna let out a little bit of sigh before I move forward. So I like that. Um, oh, I wrote down ask about the mortgage, but we already talked about that. The reason why if you ask about the mortgage and a hard seller is like, why are you asking me about my mortgage? Well, I just want to know exactly how much you'll walk away with at the time of purchase. So if your mortgage is 200,000 and you want 250, I want to tell you exactly what you'll get at the closing table, so there's no surprises, right?
Right,
And
right,
by
right.
asking that in that way, you also know in the back of your head before you even get to it if a sub two will work, right?
Right.
So that's just a way to kind of weasel your way in to know if there's anything going on with the mortgage. Um, Liens and everything, sprinkle that into the conversation at some point. Usually when you get to the mortgage, ask like, hey, are there any liens on the property that we'd have to pay off? Are there anything? You talked about listing it on the market a lot. almost a little too much. You were kind of telling me the whole process, which is okay, but you were kind of diving into it just a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Um, you said the word comps. Now, imagine I'm a dumb seller. I don't know what a comp is. So say just other properties in your area were going for this instead of saying
Okay.
comps. Like, oh, the comps were at 50K or whatever the number is. Say there's other properties in your area going for this. Um, your comment, I may not be your buyer. Beautiful, beautiful. And you explained the ARV. You explained why you got that number. Again, beautiful.
Yeah, I like
Um,
that too.
and then I just wrote down, dumb it down. So sometimes it sounds like you're speaking just a little bit above me. Dumb it
Right.
down to where like think of me as like a fourth grader. You know, don't over explain yourself, but make it easy for me and you to both understand.
Got you. What is there anything specific, that you could kind of touch on as far as that I said? Or just like,
So I'm gonna go back to where you were saying the comps. The
okay,
comps were this, the comps were that. That's what I kind of mean by dumbing it down a little bit. Instead of
okay.
saying the comps or saying the ARV, like don't use ARV because I
I
don't know
don't know
what
what that
ARV
is.
stands for. I don't know what
Right,
that
right, right.
Unless they bring it up first.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If they bring it up
Okay, I
first, that
got
means
you.
they know what it is. But if I don't
Right,
ever bring it up, then I don't know what ARV stands for.
Yeah.
So I would I
right,
would I would say like, hey, homes in your area that are renewed or recently rehabbed go for this price, right? So you know that's your ARV, but
right, right,
you're
right.
telling me in a dumber way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and then uh, when I said I want to talk to my lawyer, and you asked me what kind of questions do you have, I want to answer those now, just so in a week from now, everything's exhausted. That was wonderful. That was good because you asked me exactly, okay, what questions do you have? You weren't quick to get off the phone. You wanted to exhaust every option you had, which was great. And I just wrote great explanation because at the end when I was asking about seller finance, once you kind of figured out okay where I need to go with it, you took off and ran, which was great. So all in all, bro, fantastic call, fantastic call. And
Appreciate it. Any
the fact that you haven't practiced with anybody other than yourself, there's no way in hell anybody could have guessed that by the way that you were on the phone in these two calls. Yeah.
Hey,
So great job, bro. Great job.
I appreciate that, man.
LT,
Yo, yo.
how was the week, man?
Man, I wanted to jump in and show some moral support, man. I feel like I've been I feel I feel like I haven't been as involved as I would like to be. But
Shoot, man.
life doing its thing over here. So, I kind of got to do what I got to do. But still
Yeah,
want to jump in, man, and touch base with y'all and see what's going on and see what's up.
yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad you popped in. Like I was telling Z earlier in the call, there's some days where there's 10 people and there's some days where there's zero. I told y'all when we started this, it was actually Devin's idea. Now
Yeah.
Devin hasn't been in here much, but it was Devin's idea. Devin gave me a call. He was like, "Hey, we should create a little bit of a community,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah.
should meet." I
Mhm.
bought this Zoom platform because in the second meeting we surpassed the free version. We couldn't
Yeah.
have as many people, so I
Yeah.
bought this. Uh,
Yeah.
I like it, man.
I do too.
I know on Friday I had a lot going on Friday, so I couldn't make this happen.
Yeah.
But
What was
I
shoot?
said like, hey, we'll do a little cold call review on Sunday just to have something this week.
Gotcha.
But LT, I mean, any good news, man? I know life's doing its thing, but
Um,
you're in
bro, I'm just
control of life.
you you would think you would like to think so, right? um, but uh yeah, man, it's a bunch of good news. It's it's not the news that I'm looking for, but right now, bro, I'm just in pipeline filling mode right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to talk to as many people as I can and approaching it of just like literally filling the funnel up and seeing what comes out the other end. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm at the point now where I've talked to enough people to realize like, all right, it's legit a numbers game and you legit just gotta just keep banging your head against the wall with some of these people until you can kind of figure it out. Like good news as far as progress, I give you a progress update. So as far as like my pitch goes, I've slowed it down a lot. Confidence grew, like talking to more
Awesome.
people, following up with more people, keeping them on the phone a little bit longer, getting a little bit more information out of them that I need. I think it's just a point of right now where we're at is just still trying to figure out what's happening in our market. Like we don't have a really um great idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
But um like I'm going to a RIA event on Tuesday, taking my wife
Awesome.
up there, seeing what's up, like been talking to
Awesome.
people. So just staying active, bro. We just trying to stay as active as we can and trying to get Caesar situated with his wife. Um kind of locked him in on a schedule and everything with his wife. So
That's
we just
awesome.
yeah, man, taking baby steps to get to the goal. That's it, really.
That's good, bro. You gonna get there sooner or later.
Yeah, man. It's just right now. It's a matter of time, man. We just you know
And that's
we,
all it is time, man. And time, consistency,
hmm
and just doing it, man.
consistency. The consistent. That's a word. That's my word for the year this year is consistency.
Z was
So
Z was talking about the same thing.
yeah, that's my this year. I don't know why, but that's just the word that I've been on heavy this year. Like even with these calls, just trying to get on here and trying to get in contact with at least somebody once a week, a couple times a week, just so I can talk to some like-minded people. Like I talk to Jimmy all the time, but just other people outside of my circle. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just bouncing ideas, feeding off the energy and stuff like that. Cause I'm a big believer in blessings and tragedies work the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whenever it happens, whoever is around you is directly affected by it.
Yeah.
So, if stuff is popping off for y'all and things is happening, then for me, if I'm just in the area, if I'm in the vicinity, I'm gonna catch a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch some of them shock waves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As long as I'm in the blast radius, I'll be all right because I know either I'm next or if I'm not next, I'm right there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it, man. So that's why I want to just try to keep doing this and keep reaching out to y'all and you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate you stopping in, man, as always.
for sure,
Z,
man.
what's this next week looking like for you, man?
Sure, just attacking this list I didn't pulled and skip trace, attacking and just hoping I can get something out of it. And that's attacking it every single day, pretty much. I might do driving for dollars one of these days because I got a action plan that I took from Zach, actually 90-day action plan. And so I'm just trying to make sure I stay up to date on that, which is where the driving for dollars is going to be coming from. But pretty much that and just strictly following up with people.
No, I hear that, man. Do you have a set schedule for your days? Like I have a set schedule. I don't do the best job at following it. Like I said, consistency with you, I'm not always, right there with it. But do you have a set schedule for your days? Because this is your job now. This
Right,
is literally your job. So
right,
you don't gotta be, you're not punching the clock, but you're punching the clock in here, right? You don't have
right,
another job. You're doing this full time. So you're a business owner now.
Yeah.
right.
You need to set yourself a schedule because you're a business owner, how to work in that business. And like I said, I have one. I don't follow it like I should. So I'm telling you to try to give myself motivation to follow it as well.
No, I don't actually I'm glad you actually said that to me. I'm gonna make sure I make that happen. I don't have like an actual schedule for the day, but I have like a schedule for weeks as far as the action plan. So I got like days 1 through 14. I need to make sure I get this part done. 100 drive from dollar leads, skip trace them. Next week 300, skip trace them. next week, get some code violations, skip trace them. But like daily, that would be a great idea to do for sure. For sure, for sure. I don't have that though. So I'm glad you mentioned that to me. I'm gonna make sure I make that happen.
You got a vision board? I see you looking over at something.
Let me show you. Let's see. This thing flip around. It's not a vision board. It's just like a calendar. So pretty much
Oh,
every single
yeah.
day, whatever I do, I try to just mark it on there. That way I remember what I did. And then over here is just like what I need to get done for each individual week.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't know if this is considered a vision board, but I just try to
Yeah,
track what am I
Planning.
doing. That way I can look back and be like, what did I do this month? Like if nothing happens or if anything happens, like what did I do, that led up to this?
Yeah.
Like did I not do anything? Did I do something?
man,
Like
I like that.
Yeah.
I
That's what's up.
really, really like that. Like I just have a whiteboard, like just a straight whiteboard. But I'm gonna get a whiteboard calendar and put
yeah.
it next to this whiteboard and do the same thing, just so I can write something each day, what I did, what
Yeah.
what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you use Podio, the
I do
CRM?
use Podio. Yeah, I copied Zach's setup that he had. I've been I think the day before yesterday, like I kind of wanted to play with it and edit it to my style, to what I
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
So I'm still kind of in that process of trying to figure out how do I specifically like it.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't played around with it. I'm just using the stock version. I put my first calendar event in Podio yesterday for a follow-up call. So I'm definitely gonna use it more. I just wanted to see kind of what you thought.
Podio's cool, man. Like you can customize it exactly how you want it. And then I think I have the free version of it too. So I don't feel like I'm at the point where I need the paid version of it yet. I don't even know what the paid version does, but Podio is cool.
I
Like it really is cool.
Yeah, I have the free version and I kind of use it. So if it's like a cold, well, yeah, I guess if it's anything outside of just like a follow-up, like if it's like a serious cold or warm lead, um, I'll put them in Podio just so I can just track it that way. Otherwise, I'll just follow up with them in the dialer in batch dialer. I'll just set a calendar date to follow up with them. If it's like a serious lead that I think,
Yeah,
then I'll
that's what
put it
I
in.
do.
Yeah, I'll put it in Podio and like the free. But the paid version of Podio, from what Cordero was showing me, was pretty much like it's to me it's fire because like you just kind of do it's one stop shopping pretty much for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So, and it kind of links everything, and the process is way smoother. Um, Going from like obviously it's better for people. You have like a lot more lead conversions happening. So for me right now, it wouldn't really make sense because I don't really have a bunch of them going through like that. But once you kind of get going, I think you'll kind of see the value in the paid version a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what do you have or with the I don't know if you know with the paid version, because I know with the free version, you can call like I don't know if y'all can do. I'm sure y'all can do it with batch. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to, but like with call tools, you can call tools and have them set up to where while you're in call tools, you click a button. If you feel like this is a lead, you click a button and it like automatically shoots it over to
Yeah,
Podio.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what it does. Like if you
Okay.
could set it up so like your call results, like whatever, if your call result is like, say if it's a warm lead or something, it'll literally just push all that info over to Podio. Like your notes,
Yeah.
the info, the Zillow link, all of that. It'll push everything over there. And then you set whatever phase it is or whatever I forgot what they call it in there, but you set whatever like whatever part of the process you're in with them, and then you can even automate that part moving forward, like follow-up texts, follow-up phone calls, commitment
Mm,
letters, all of that stuff, man. It's you can kind of go crazy with it.
okay, yeah. Yeah. I likes that.
is
Yeah,
call tools a multi-line dollar?
Yeah, I think it's like a goes up to 10, but I
Yeah.
only do
I don't think
4, I
anybody
think.
I don't think anybody
Yeah.
uses it.
Yeah, I do like 4. 4 is a good number for me, I've noticed.
are you just calling, like, what are your lists look like? Well, I mean, you said you got a list pulled right now. How'd you stack it? How'd you pull that list?
And where'd you get it from?
I got actually I'm kind of like all over the place, just trying to see what works. So I did driving for dollars, like I went driving around. Originally, since I don't have a job right now, um, I was skip tracing for free. So true people search, past people search, that stuff take too much time, and I
Yeah.
don't really got time like that. I got to make something happen, but that's how I was doing my driving for dollars, and I kind of paid for some of those numbers as well because I said I'm not doing that no more. And then my code violation list, I went down to City Hall to actually get that. So they emailed me um Excel sheet, I guess. They emailed me a list of, I actually got it from Zach, high grass, structural damage. I got it somewhere. I forgot. High grass, structural damage. I think inoperable vehicles, and there was one more on there from basically from February 1st up until the day I was there, which was April 4th. And so I just got that back on the I just got that back on, what was that, the 11th or 12th. So pretty much this week I just got that back. And then I had pulled another list from a prop stream. And by the way, the code violation list was just, I asked for Dallas County. They sent me just Dallas the city. So there's a whole bunch of other cities in Dallas. So I'm kind of like I'm missing some things there, which I'll make sure that gets corrected next time. But that's that. And then I pretty much went, I'm pretty sure y'all heard of it, freewholesaling.com, Zach's course that they offer. And I went through the whole how to find the best zip codes where the most cash buyers and stuff is, or the hottest markets basically. So I did that through list source. I pulled, I think it was like 5 zip codes of the best zip codes where I'm at,
Mhm.
loaded that up into PropStream, and I looked up vacant. I think it was like 30. I kind of combined some on my list too. So vacant 30% equity, vacant 50% equity, and then I think vacant 30% equity with liens. And so like with call tools, they have it to where like you can tag them and put them in the same campaign. So I'm kind of like marketing to all of those in one campaign.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that's pretty much how my list is.
That's what's up, bro.
yeah,
Sound like you put a lot of work into that
for
too.
sure.
Oh no, for sure. Like it's a everyday, all day thing. Like I'm learning. I love it though. Honestly, like if I didn't quit my job, I wouldn't consider myself. I guess I would consider myself like far along in this journey. But if I didn't quit my job, I wouldn't be like knowledge wise with wholesaling where I am today. So I'm glad I was able to do that, so I can just constantly learn because it would have prolonged the process crazy staying full
Yeah.
time at my job.
What were you doing? How'd you get into wholesaling? What's your story?
So the first time I actually ever heard about wholesaling, I'm sure it was for a lot of people, was YouTube. There's a guy named Mark Whitten, I think, on the Breakfast Club. He this was back in 2018. So I just turned 24 on the 6th. So at that time I was like 18 years old. But that was the first time I ever heard about it. But like I was young. The job that I had, the one I actually just quit, uh, it was NTB, like an automotive thing. It's actually the sales part of it though. So I worked like the front counter. And so at that time, for somebody that's like just getting out of high school, I was actually making, like, to me, I was making a lot of money compared to probably my peers and stuff. So like me making that money, but also watching that video, it didn't like really like strike me like, man, you need to really dive into this. And so that was the first time I heard about it. You know, years went by, moved out to my mom's crib, you know, bills started getting higher. So that money wasn't like as much money anymore. And then I kind of like,
LT, is he frozen on yours?
I switched from my computer to my phone. Can y'all, am I good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you
Okay,
hear
cool.
Z though? Is Z frozen?
Z, I don't see.
But you don't hear him either. I think he timed out or something. He was talking and it just it
It went
froze.
out.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I'm deeply interested in that story because in a moment of transparency right now, um, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been really thinking about getting up the gumption to get out of my situation, quit my job. You know what I'm saying, and get to it full time. Just because I'm looking at all the time that it takes, the energy that it takes, and what I could be getting.
LT,
And
let me ask you this.
what's up?
Right now, do you
Mhm.
have 6 months worth of expenses saved up?
Well, that's what the dilemma is, bro. Like that's why I'm trying to push as hard as I can
Yeah,
because I don't.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So if I could once I can get that locked up, I mean mentally I'm out of there already. I just need the funds to back it up.
yeah. No, I
You
hear
know what I
you.
mean?
I
Because I'm
hear you,
already
man.
working. I'm on the dialer while I'm at work. Like
Yeah,
both of
yeah,
us, we taking turns. So, um, and it just seems more efficient, man. My like most of the better conversations that I have are like during the daytime, not
yeah,
like the conversations I have between say like 6 to 8. I mean, people, is getting off work, not in the greatest mood, stuff like that. When I
yeah,
call super early, I'm speaking to either the people that are just sitting at home or the wives or the husbands or the kids or you know what I mean? So
yeah,
within that 12 to 4 slot, that's when I usually have the best conversations from what I've seen in what I'm doing right now. But it's like during that time is when I have all the meetings. That's when I got, you know what I mean, like the kids getting off the bus. There's always something happening during that time.
yeah,
So I just
yeah.
kind of got to balance it a little bit better.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Hold on, I think
But
Z trying to come back. Hold on.
yeah, I'm making it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead though.
Nah, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been that's on my mind heavy, man. Like, once you start thinking about that, everything you see and hear is somebody quitting their job and going full time and becoming a superstar overnight.
Absolutely. That's a fact. I'm guilty
Yeah.
of it, man.
Z,
Oh yeah?
welcome back, bro. Tell like
Yeah, man.
you timed out halfway through your story, so
What was the
uh,
last thing y'all heard?
man, you were working the front desk.
Hmm.
You were making a lot of money. The last thing you heard was when you moved out of your mama's house, bills started going back up.
Yeah, so I moved out of my mom's crib. You know, more money on my end having to come out of my pocket now. And so at first I was dipping into like stocks real heavy, like how can I make my money make money? So I dived deep into stocks. I was like, I don't want to do real estate. Like I don't want to go to houses and do all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. So time went by on that and I quickly learned like I don't really want to live below my means forever. Like I want to be able to do stuff. And so that's what brought me back into like how can I make money? Brought me back into real estate. Originally I was like, all right, commercial apartment buildings, what I'm gonna do, because I heard somebody say, oh, you don't need money to do this, blah, 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 which that may be the case, but you still gotta have the connections and stuff. So started there, it trickled down to smaller multifamily, as far as like my interests. And then somehow, some way it trickled down into wholesale. And I think I was watching like Jerry Norton and this girl named Lily Invest. And so like I spent months watching them trying to soak up the knowledge, information, which I guess was good and bad. And then probably basically February after doing all that, and me and my homie were just having conversations like, how we gonna get this bag by tomorrow? Like, how we finna get this bag? And so we kind of just had a conversation like he was in the box trucking, he wanted to do box trucking. I was ready to do wholesale. I'm like, bro, this is it. Like, this is what's gonna happen. And so that's what led me back into like wholesale, and I've just before I wasn't really like for sure, like I'm all in. Now it's like something got to shake because this job is not going to free me. Like I already don't
Yeah.
like it. I hate dealing with these people. Like I might as well do something that's going to like benefit me. And then it just I was just always in the back of my mind like, all right, you can sit here and keep working, play it safe, and never take this risk. And one day you go, or you can take the risk, whether it works or not. At least you can say like, "Hey, man, you did it. You tried everything you can. Ain't no regrets there." So that's pretty much how I got back to where I am now. And then watching you, watching his name's Khan. Like I said, I'm in the Discord. I would call him my mentor because I mean he's easily accessible,
Yeah.
pretty much just like you are. Ty, just learning a lot and kind of just like copying what y'all doing and putting it into my own thing. So that's why right now I'm at the point where just trying to be consistent until I get that first one, reinvest it back into the business, and from there I know what's up. And I love the fact that it's not easy, and I'm doing it like I would consider the hard way by doing manual skip tracing, just jumping in, making calls and stuff. Because like I'm learning. I think Pace say implementation over information. Like that's facts.
Yeah.
That's big facts.
Hey, bro, cut
So
the ropes. Cut the ropes. There's no turning back, bro. You
oh
said,
nah.
it might fail, but at least I tried. Like, hell no, it's not gonna fail. Cut the ropes, bro. You on the boat now, the ropes are cut. So you either gonna swim or you gonna sink. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I
either
said what I say, I don't care if it's 2 years from now I get my first deal. Like I'm this is it. Like there's nothing else. There's nothing
yeah,
else. At first I wasn't gonna quit my job until I got my first deal. But like I just realized like, yeah, it can definitely be done with a full-time job. But my job is for me specifically, because I have a kid as well, it was very hard for me to do it all. So I said, hey, I'm gonna take this leap of faith. I believe in Jesus. I hope y'all do too, but I'm gonna trust God. I'm gonna trust God just to take care of me. Whatever happens, happens. Whether I get a deal, within that time before I run out of money, amazing. If I don't and I have to go back to working again, I'm still not done with this. Like this is what it's gonna be. So as soon as this pops off, if I end up having to, go back that route, that's getting kicked to the side real quick.
yeah.
So
No, I hear
that's
you,
where I'm
bro.
at with it.
And I wish you the best of luck, bro. You gonna make it happen. Trust me.
Yeah.
You got the attitude and the swagger for it, man. You gonna make it happen. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's not even a doubt.
For sure. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. And
I wanna
that's
let me add to that though real quick because Johnny, I don't know if you remember, I told you I started in like 2015, right?
yeah,
And I had that deal that fall apart. So I mean, and at the time I only had 2 kids. Got 4 now. At the time I only had 2. And I wasn't married yet. We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I'm using all the extra money, credit cards, whatever I had to kind of get through. I was just like, man, just get me to the first deal. Let me get like a $10,000 check. And then from there, we'll figure it out. Like once we get that whole proof of concept thing going, it's over.
That's
And
my same
I got
mindset, man.
I got close, man. I got real close. And then the deal fell apart at the end, and it kind of discouraged the hell out of me. And then I just kind of I look back and I was like, man, I spent all this money, all this time, and it discouraged me, man. So I just stopped doing it. Like if I would have just kept pushing and kept doing it, bro, it would have been like there would have been no turning back from that moment forward. Like so, this time around, like it's a different there's a different way I'm doing it. So I only say that when you said before about like if you run out of money and stuff like that, like bro, the resources, like you're resourceful first of all. So like with you just being resourceful, like the resources are gonna be there. They're gonna present themselves, and you a man of faith, like you gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts.
Somebody is watching and it's gonna help you out. And that's why you part of different communities because something gonna happen, bro. Like it's just I don't even like putting a time on it anymore. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
right,
it's just
right.
like
At this point, like it might take somebody 6 months, 2 years, a year, 10 days. Every time you go on YouTube, you see somebody, oh, their first deal, their first phone call, their first deal, their first marketing campaign. All that's sexy and that's great. But for the ones of us out here that's really grinding, that's really gonna stick to it, and it's like not just a quick flip, like
Yeah.
that ain't the story. So I mean, I applaud you and I admire you for quitting your job and jumping in full time, because if I didn't have so much going on right now, man, I'd be there too. And sky's the limit once you get there. Because once your day opens up like that, you can pretty much you can kind of dictate for the most part most of how your day is gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Assuming that somebody says, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, all you want is somebody to just say, yeah. Like once the conversation goes past, yeah, I've been thinking about selling, or yeah, I'm interested, or what's your offer, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like just to open the door. Once they crack the door, then it's over.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like it's just taking it one step at a time, and that's all. That's what I'm telling myself right now, bro. So you super young too, like 24, bro. Oh my god, I wish. I wish it feel like that. I wish, bro. So like,
Yeah.
man, all if anything, if nothing else, man, just you, it's good, man. You got it. You just got to keep pushing, and you right there, man. And right there could be next week, next month, next year, but at the end of the day, you gonna 10 years from now, it's gonna be like, man, I should have started this at 19. Because I know
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
kicking
for real.
myself every day. Because I'm like, if I had just if I had this mindset back then, man, it would have been crazy.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I might have been a guru or something, but at the end of the day, like that's why for real, man. Like that's why, and I'm joking about the guru thing because anybody could be a guru, but I'm just saying, like, you could just you see where it goes, because like even the whole thing about it being a saturated market where you at, bro, it only take one person to say yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's it.
Like it's huge companies out here, like the we buy houses and the cash for and all that. And yeah, they marketing and they blowing people's phones up, but still, like I'm pretty sure just with the role call with the role play that I just did, um uh Johnny's, didn't sound like he was like a complete laydown. It sounded like he was trying to give a little bit pushback. And that's kind of what's gonna happen. Like I don't know, the laydowns are for the pay per click people or the text messages or the people that's just like, the timing. It's all about the timing. That's what I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing. Like the cold calls and the list that you're working on, it's gonna take, 2, 3, 4, 10, you know, correspondences, touches, whatever you want to call it, to kind of lock some of these people up and get them feeling comfortable with you and stuff like that. So Um, in my mind, I'm just like, man, the more people I talk to, is the easier it's going to get. I'm gonna figure something out along the way. These people keep dry snitching on themselves because they keep saying what's happening. Like I was telling Johnny the other day, like they keep telling me that they're. I've heard from a few people now that that people are offering them 80% of ARV. They don't even know what that means, but that's just what they've been hearing from people that's calling them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So um, bro, you keep pounding them phones, and once you set your schedule up, your day up, and because you seem pretty super organized right now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you seem like you kind of got it, all figured out. So at this point, man, it's just literally the time, dog. Like just just keep putting in the
Putting in
time.
that, putting in the work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man.
For sure. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you got it, bro. Like you got it. You gonna make it happen. There's
Yeah,
no doubt in my mind.
easily, bro, easily.
Hey, obviously I ain't got no choice. I'm telling you, like that's my mindset. It ain't got no choice but to work. Like it's gonna work because it ain't got no choice but to work.
And
Exactly.
that's
So I'm
that's
putting in
why
the
it's gonna
work.
work. That's why it's gonna work.
That's
That's
what's
why
up,
it's gonna work.
man.
But yeah, I really like watching y'all do these role plays and Johnny, you doing those those live calls because I take so much from it. Like, and in the job that I had, I ain't know nothing about cars. Like, I'm talking about nothing about cars. I jumped into the sales and I sucked, like terrible. Like, any question a customer had, oh yeah, give me 1 sec. Let me go ask such and such. And just like hearing what people say in response, you learn, okay, they asked this, say this, they asked this, say this. So like
Exactly.
people eventually I got so good at it, people would come in, they're like, oh, you know your stuff. Little do
Right.
they know, I don't know nothing about cars. Like, I'm just repeating what somebody else said. So like that's why I really like watching you on YouTube, how you handle objections, how you present people with present them with things that may be more beneficial. I like how you'll be like, hey, this might be better for you than what I'm trying to do, honestly speaking, where you might not even, make no money out of it. I'm like, okay, like I love seeing that because I'm the same type of person. Like, I don't want to force something out of you. If it makes sense, then perfect. If it don't make sense, I don't ever want you to feel like I'm just trying to like shove this down your throat, anything like that. And you don't do that. And I really admire that whenever I'm watching. I really admire just watching you and taking anything that you're saying, seeing how I can implement it into like my way. Cause I know like that's gonna help me get better, better, better. Not everybody does live seller calls. If they do, like they were like pre-recorded, they only pick certain ones or whatever. But now you lay it all out like, hey, this day sucked. Hey, this one ain't good. Like, this is what happened. This is how I should have done. This is what I should have did instead of like the dollar thing we were talking about earlier. Like, I shouldn't have said that. It's like, okay, maybe I need to start reviewing my calls and see how could I improve? How can I be better? So, just doing that and then also getting on these live, role plays where we can critique each other. It's amazing. Like, it's super helpful. Like, it's what I believe any like new beginner, whatever you want to call them, wholesaler, like this is the type of stuff that they need to be a part of and watching and witnesses. And because at the end of the day, when you get on these phones, like this is what you're gonna be dealing with. Like, and if you don't know how to deal with it, it's easily to get discouraged. And so you have to also understand, like, of course it's gonna come with time, but you just gotta have that mindset, like LT was saying, that hey, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. Just keep pushing through, it's gonna get better. So
Man,
yeah, man.
I appreciate those kind words, bro. I really do. All right, go ahead, LT. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I wasn't. I was just agreeing, bro. I was just agreeing.
Man, I want to tell you this, Johnny, because I think it's funny, bro. Whenever I first started watching, I was like, bro, this dude's voice is just like so just like smooth. I'm like, nah, man, something up, bro. Like, something up. I remember the girl was like, don't try to scam me. You sound like a scammer. Like, I swear to you, like that was kind of my first thought. But then more and more I watched you, I got to know you, because I'm the type of person, like I never try to judge, try to judge anybody if I don't know them personally. So like, as I guess I felt like I started to learn more about you, like I realized like, nah, bro, this guy's just good, bro. He's just smooth. Like, this is how he is, bro. Like, he's just good. So over time, I just grew to like, yeah, how is this dude not like blown up already? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, he's giving out that value.
I'm gonna add to that too. I was judging, but I was judging in a good way. If that makes sense. I was like, cause the first time I heard him, I was like, man, he just sounds too laid back. Like, I was like, how is he this effective? But it just sound like he's like, you know what I'm saying? It just was real. It was almost too smooth. I was like, yo, I don't know, because I was always taught and learned to use like different tonalities when you're on the phone, and like your pace, tonality, all that stuff. Like, so when I'm listening to him, it was just like he just like dumbed it down and kept it real simple, and it was just like real straightforward. And I was just like, and it was just so relaxed with it. And I was just like, all right, okay. I really like that style, and I like that approach. So, so yeah, man, it just goes to show, and different styles work, different things work. It's really all about the type of person you are, really, because that's what comes out over the phone.
Yeah, that's what I.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I noticed. Like, you just yourself on these calls. You've I'm sure you have to learn it from somebody else, but then you put it into your own way. And so that taught me like, okay, like I don't really have to go sound all scripty when I'm reading. Like I can talk how I talk and still get the same outcome. So I love that. Like I love that because I hate having a, you know, just
Yeah,
because I'm talking to somebody. Like I don't want to change just because I'm talking to you. Like I'd rather be able to talk to you, and I would consider it still being professional. It's just how I sound, how I talk, and still get the same outcome. So you showed me that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
absolutely, bro. Be yourself, man. I appreciate that, like from both of y'all. I really do. Man, I ain't when I decided like, hey, I want to record these videos, it was because when I started out, I like for a week straight, I watched every single YouTube video. And my
Yeah.
favorite thing to watch was seller calls. That was my
Mm-hmm.
favorite thing to
Yeah.
watch. I'll put that on while I'm cleaning the bathroom because I love to hear how
Yeah,
people
for
deal with
sure.
other sellers.
Absolutely.
So it got to the
Absolutely.
point where I seen damn near every single seller call, and it was getting harder to find them. I'm like, I'm gonna post mine, like you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna post my little seller calls, and I might listen to like a year from now, listen to calls that I had a year ago.
I ain't gonna lie to you, you're right, because I'm probably in the same, not the same boat as like posting them, but I feel like I've seen a lot of hours of seller calls.
Yeah, yeah,
So you just get to the point where you just like, all right, now I just want to like hone in on mine and like, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And
yeah.
tighten up my stuff.
But see, my thing was like, I don't want a new wholesaler to run through them all and have no more. So I'm like, I'm just gonna pump out mine. I'm doing it anyways. What's putting up a camera and talking?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I was on YouTube allows me to meet you guys. You know
Right,
what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
not in it to build a community, be a guru, sell a course. I'm not selling anything. I don't want nobody's money. It's just a
Yes.
community of people, like-minded people who can sit down and talk about what we're doing. And the fact that I just went on a limb and posted my videos allowed all of this to happen. So, just put yourself out there. And also too, a lot of people reach out to me that I've met through YouTube and show me kind of what they got going on. So now I'm able to pick your brain and learn more from you while you're bringing me ideas. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all in all a community that's been created. So that's why I post videos, man. I don't think I'll ever be one who makes up a course. A lot of people ask me, "Hey, do you have a course? I want to buy a course." I'm like, "Look, man, I don't got no course. Click on YouTube, do your thing."
But you know what's funny about the courses too, bro? Like, I mean, it's kind of all the same thing, honestly.
It
It
is.
is.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just kind of gotta pick somebody that you like and rock with them. Really, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like if
Yep.
you really are hell bent on doing a course or doing something like that, you just kind of gotta like be like, all right, well, his or her personality matches me the best. So, and I like the way they say it. I like the way they break it down. So I'm gonna just roll with them, and
That's
that's
it,
it. Like,
bro.
yeah, for real.
I
Like it
mean,
don't make sense jumping back and forth between a thousand different people. You're just gonna confuse yourself.
no, I think
Yep.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just agreeing with LT. Yep.
Yeah, Maxwell said something in a video when I first started. He goes, pick like one or two people and
Yep.
just do what they say. Instead of
Yep.
trying to bounce around to 10 different people and
Yep.
take a little bit here and there, just take one or two people and just do
Yep.
everything they say. So I
Yep.
mean, I
Yep.
kind of
For
implemented
sure.
that. Jerry Norton was the first wholesaler that I got who I watched who really introduced me to wholesaling. And then I saw Pace Morby on one of Jerry Norton's videos. And I'm like, who's this guy? So I looked up him, and Pace Morby been my number one. He's been the number one person I watch and listen to.
That's crazy, bro. Because the guys that I was watching, I don't even see them on my. They're not even in my algorithms. Like I was watching like Sean Terry and like Phil Pustiowski and freaking and Todd the Flip Man and like there was this other dude named Chris. There was a bunch of people back then doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
don't know
like,
none of them people.
Yeah. I don't
that's
know
what I'm
none of them
saying.
either.
Like, but after a while, they all graduate and they just get into other things, I guess. Or, I mean, they just I don't know. I guess he didn't keep up with the time. I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, I don't see him no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like everybody that Johnny just named, that's who's on my timeline. Brent Daniels, Pace Morby, Max Maxwell,
Yeah.
like all those guys. Jerry Norton is heavy. Like it's all of them, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Same here.
I feel though,
But
like with some of them might have just fell off or don't even record videos no more. I think I'll be recording videos for the rest of my life, or not the rest of my working life. Because I mean,
wholesaling career.
yeah, just like there's not too many black men in front of the camera who are telling other young black men kind of the ways. Right?
Yeah.
We can turn on rap songs and hear about shoot this, girls this, club this, chain this. But what like the plan that I have in place is to create generational wealth for me and my family. And that's what I want to do. So it would be honestly, it'd be selfish of me to just withhold all the information that I'm gathering. I'm reading books every week and I'm getting knowledge from those books. It would be selfish of me not to just share everything I got. Like that's why when people ask me for a course, look, I'm free. Like I'm free. Ask me anything you got, and I'll give you whatever knowledge I have. Because what are you gonna do? Steal business from me? No. If anything, you're gonna go get some business and bring it to me.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just, there's so much knowledge out there. I just felt like it would be selfish of me not to share the knowledge I have. And also,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, this is a community, right? This
Yeah.
is building a community of people who are like-minded. I'm not surrounded by anybody who's into wholesaling real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having these
Mhm.
conversations with other people who are my age, who are doing
Yeah.
what I'm doing, who look like me, that's you know what I'm saying? That's encouraging. So
Yeah.
it's
And that's
gonna
value.
keep going, bro.
That's value, yeah, for sure. That's definitely value because that is a huge point. That's a huge point. And that's something that I can appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Because my business partner, I love him to death, but he's white. You know what I'm saying? So we come from different places. You know what I mean? So we sometimes the way that he thinks about things is different than the way that I think about things. And definitely the way that he talks to people. And when he talks to people, it's a different conversation than when I
Yeah.
talk to people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So definitely in terms of me just trying to build my own confidence up and get the knowledge and know-how and yeah, of course you kind of you feel better and you want to be around confident, dependable other black people. You just say I'm saying like just keep it real. So and especially black men because unfortunately, you know, like Johnny said, it's not really out there like that. That's not really, you know. But when you find them and you see them, you kind of want to hold on to 'em. So I know I
Yeah,
do as much as I can.
for
You know what I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's the OGs or the younger dudes like you, I'm pretty sure I'm the oldest one in here right now. So
Nah, LT, nah.
I'm just I'm just saying, like, listen. But even so, I'm not hating on the younger kids doing anything. I'm really trying to learn from everybody because it's just so much information now, it seems like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, if I could learn from the kids, then that's what it is, man. You know what I mean?
You
I
can learn from
wish
anybody.
yeah, like I'm like, bro, I wish I would have had some of the conversations with my uncles that I'm having with my nephews and my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like you
man.
don't you don't you don't get to really like have those type of experiences. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like the dudes never really talked about much in my household outside of like sports and I mean the regular stuff.
Yeah. And just
Like
think,
we didn't have
both y'all got kids, man. Imagine the position your kids are gonna be in because of
yeah,
what y'all are doing now.
That's
You
why
know?
I'm doing it. That's
Yeah.
why I'm doing it. I don't
sure.
want him to have to go somewhere he don't want to go every single day just because he got to pay the bills or, him coming up. I want to be able to do whatever it is that he want, give him whatever it is that he want without there being any limitations to it. And then
Yeah,
I also just feel like you know, me learning this, since like you said, LT, you didn't have nobody that was putting you on, teaching you these things. I'm gonna make sure I pass that down to him and teach him those things so it can trickle down and keep going down, because we need that. Especially like you said, our people, we need that. Like, there's nobody around us that's on that type of timing.
Yeah.
Like, just to bounce off that, there was nobody teaching me. There was nobody telling me. Now, my parents are the most supportive parents in the world, but they can only teach what they know. You know,
Exactly.
They came from people who are just work your job.
That's a fact.
Retire at
Bro,
60. And
let me ask both of y'all a question real quick. When y'all had the conversation with your parents and they realized that you knew a little bit more than they did, or they just looked at you like differently about, you know, real estate in general, like when y'all had that conversation, what was that like?
You want to go first, Johnny?
I'm gonna let you go, Z.
So my dad, he actually passed away, so I never was able to have that conversation with him. But my mom, she like you were saying, like, they grew up working jobs. All they knew was go to work, pay the bills, retire. So she has no knowledge of anything that I brought. Like, when I brought it up to her, she has no knowledge. So it was just kind of like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, don't forget about me. And that's pretty much what it was. And I didn't really expect much more, because like, she doesn't know. Like, she probably think I'm crazy, but she's not gonna tell me if she do. But she doesn't know. So it wasn't very much conversation besides like, hey, do your thing. Don't forget about me.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it went for me.
It's funny, like, so my mom, like I said, my parents have been the most supportive parents in the world. So and they're separated. So my mom was like, oh, okay, cool. And that was it. My dad wants to know everything. You know what I'm saying? He wants to know how the finances look. Like, he wants to be the business partner. He's so excited about all this going on. He wants to know how the books are looking. Every time we get on the phone, he goes, "Oh, how the calls go today?"
Absolutely.
You know, I even sent him a couple phone numbers, because he was like, "Man, I want to get on the phone. I want to call." So he's over there practicing on the phone with me. So my dad is like, he wants to be involved to a T, even to the point where sometimes I'm like, "Look, Pops, I've been talking about this all day. Can we talk about something else? You know what I'm saying? Can we talk down a little bit?" But
that's funny. That's amazing.
My Pops all the way involved, and he's like, "Look, hurry up, man. I'm tired of being broke." That's
real.
That's his whole thing. He's like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what it is. Just hurry up. I'm tired of being broke.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a big fact. I feel him. Yo, I gotta talk to your Pops, bro.
Yeah,
your Pops is amazing.
he's funny,
he's
man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
he sounds like the man.
Yeah, no, he is, bro. Like, he's the best dad in the world, man. I can't complain.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Man,
what about you, LT?
Man, it happened a couple of times, but both times were, my parents live in New York right now, and I don't know if y'all know about New York prices, but it is looking wild, right? So, like, my cousin sent me a video of the house that he's looking at right now, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And he's trying to buy a house, and it's like, it's hard for anybody to buy a house right now. So I'm trying to tell my parents, like, yo, y'all need to just either fix it up and sell it, or just sell it as is. But either way, y'all just gotta get out of that house. One, because it's old as hell and it's falling apart. You know what I mean? It looks good aesthetically, but it's just like, me knowing what I know about it. It's just not good, right? So I had a conversation with my mom, and my mom works for a bank, and she works in like the appraisal department for like loans and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, because I'm having a conversation with her, and she's kind of telling me what she does, and I'm trying to tell her, like, hey, like, you know, if you dump this much money into the house, you can get this much for it, but now you got to sit here and wait for somebody else to get financed and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, I got people I know right now that will buy this house in this condition as it is right now, and you can still make out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's gonna be so much less of a burden on you. And she's like not really, she wasn't really trying to accept it because she's just more along the lines of like, you gotta go through a bank. You know what I mean?
Traditional
Because
way.
like, yeah, like that's what she does. So having the same conversation with my sister about it, but now I'm like really having it because now my sister is really open to it. And I'm talking to my sister and I could just kind of see her eyes like open up like wow. I and you could kind of see a little bit of relief in there where it's just like, oh snap, like we have more options. You know what I'm saying? Like just stuff that they would have never probably even thought about. Because of course now you're just thinking like if you're just thinking, yo, I gotta put money in the house to fix it, or if I put it on the market in this condition, like it's I might not get what I want for it. But if there's a way that you can kind of get what you want and also get rid of the burden at the same time, then and it really is something that you are considering that you want to do and it makes sense, then like why not do it?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I kind of just got them open to the idea, and now my mom is more open to because I've been trying to get her to move, her and my dad to move down here with us in Texas. And then my sister was like, she's like, well, what am I going to do? And I'm like, dog, the house will be sold. You will have money. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. So she's looking at me like, you might be right. Like, it was just like having that conversation. It was like, and like it made like everything that I said, like it wasn't like I said anything crazy or you know what I mean, but it was just the way that I broke it down to him. It was just like, okay, that kind of makes sense. You might kind of know what you're talking about a little bit. All right, you know what I mean. So that's kind of what I was just kind of asking him about, just see curious. But Johnny, your dad, I got to meet your dad. Your dad sounds like you.
So I'll throw him in one of these Zooms one day. I'm sure he would be honored, bro. Like,
Sure.
yeah. Oh man. But look, I don't want to cut this off. If y'all two still want to talk, that's cool. I got a meeting at 12 that I gotta get ready for.
Yeah, I'm about to run back into the kids, man.
All right. Gentlemen, I really appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate the conversation. On Friday, hopefully we get some people to come in. What I'm thinking about doing is just to kind of spice up our Friday meetings. I'm thinking about inviting different people who are a lot higher in the game than we are and having them come speak to us for 30 minutes and just kind of spark the conversation between us, just so it's not the same voices, the same advice every Friday.
Oh no, that's dope. Hell yeah.
That sound good to me, man.
All right,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna start looking into that, and I'll see y'all boys when I see y'all. Appreciate your time, man.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
week, y'all.
All right, bro.
Y'all too.
Bye, man.